Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. My intention is to upload once a week, at least, at most twice a week. So last week, I planned to shoot content, but my company that I currently work for had some changes to my contract, so I had to go through that, and it was that time of the month, so I wasn't really feeling my optimal best, so I couldn't upload. But I think going forward, I'll be uploading once a week. I'll say, I look messy. I'll say on a Monday, it's, what time is it? It's 3:40, so it's almost 4 o'clock. So that's why I look like this, because I just finished work. I'll say on a Monday, because it'll give me time to edit the video on Sunday. So yes. All right, let's get into today's video. All right, so today I'm speaking about intentional parenting. And as you can see from the title, a 4-year-old parent, well, not 4, 5 now, because my son is now 5. And we're talking about intentional parenting. Let me give you a quick backstory. So if you follow me on TikTok, if you don't, why? Please do so. Just do so. Okay. But a couple of videos ago on TikTok, I uploaded a video saying my son said that I'm 4 years old. Lo and behold, a little bit later on, the light bulb came on and I realized that he is right. At the time he was 4. So my parenting experience was of a 4-year-old. You know, I had 4 years in the industry of being a parent. And that allowed me to go easy on myself. And that's what intentional parenting is about. So today I've got a couple of points. Let's see, I actually have like a notebook. So if you see me looking down there, it's just because I want to stay on the points. It's just bullet points, and then I'm going to speak more on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just 7 points on intentional parenting and how it has helped me parent my son. My son was born at a time that I was grieving. Maybe at a later stage, if you've watched my videos, you'll know that at that time I said I was disconnected. The reason I was disconnected is because I was grieving. I couldn't exactly grieve because I was pregnant, and so, you know, I didn't want to transfer those emotions to my son. However, I think post the birth, then I felt that this is the time. So at that time, my focus, my sole focus was on grieving, and it didn't really allow us to develop the bond that we should have had at the time, because I was now taking this time to focus on grieving. So there are a couple of things that over the period of time I've gotten over the whole grieving process that I was going through, and I found a way to be an intentional parent. And one of the ways, which is the first step, is to be present. As parents, we often distracted because we are new age parents. We are exposed to so many things. Our mind is constantly working. So we parent on autopilot. The child is crying, you just hand them their food, and you don't actually get to interact with your child, or they just cry for a cell phone and you just hand it over to them. Well, being present means that after a long day at work, you need to have, might not be every day, but you know, 3 times a week at most, you just have like mat time where you literally throw down puzzles and you are present. You watch how your child learns. So you watch how your child learns, what your child picks, why they pick. Or you'll have a moment. For me, it's always either bath time or sleep time. Yes, we do read stories, but before we read a story, I'd like to ask him about his day. If he had a good day, had a bad day, why is it a good day? Recently he told me his teacher actually moved him to sit with another girl, and he's not happy about that. And I got into the crux of why. Intentional parenting has also helped me, because last year, there were days, my son really loves his school, right? So he would be excited about going to school. But where he didn't want to go to school. He was just like, no. And I realized that this no is not about this morning waking up and, you know, because he's always excited to see his friends. It's about schoolwork. So if I wasn't paying attention and I was parenting him on autopilot, I would have never found out. And I asked him, what is difficult that is happening in school? And then I discovered that he's struggling with cutting. My son is, what do you call ambidextrous? but he uses both hands. And I had bought him a right hand scissors, and his dominant hand is his left hand. So that was one of the challenges. I only got to find that out because I was focused. I literally was present in my parenting. So be present when you're parenting your child. In everything that you do, try and focus and have that 100% focus time in your parenting. The second one is to delegate and ask for help. As a new mom, you want everything to be perfect. And you know what? Over the years, I've realized it's not going to be perfect. It isn't perfect. Parenting isn't about perfectionism. And with 3 months of experience, 2 months of experience, 1 year of experience, and somebody might be like, oh, I've got 3 kids. You've only been a mother to that child for as long as that child's been around. Prior, you were this child's mother. So sometimes it's easy to take the knowledge from the first child and be like, yeah, I'm just going to copy and paste. Kids are different. So each child needs their own set of attention from you to understand them better. But let's come back to asking for help. In my case, if I were to tell you the amazing support structure I have, probably in a separate video, I will actually get to show you. I need to get the people's permission to be like, can I share our story? And if they are okay with it, you will be surprised. But on the weekends, I don't have my son with me. Yes, I miss him. But if I did want to have him with me, I can literally negotiate and be like, listen, guys, can I just take him for this weekend? And asking for help and delegating some of the tasks to either your family members, your partner, your trusted friends, it allows you to recharge, because remember, you are pouring into your child whatever you have. So sometimes you have this negative energy, you have this tension that came from a workplace or your relationship, or there's a conflict going on between you and your spouse, and you indirectly pour that into ingane yakho. So uma ngabe uba nesikhathi sokuthi ube wedwa, ube wena, because before ube uMaga Junior uNomakhosi nje uNomakhosi. So kubalekile ukuthi ube nesikhathi sakho wena, uzikhumbule ukuthi ubani, tap into who you are and do the things that make you happy, so that when you come back to parenting your child, you come back as a whole human being, as a whole person. And I've noticed that since I am okay with delegating, with asking for help, and honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm a secondary, if not a third party parent in this whole thing. And that's just because I give everybody a chance to do what they need to do, and it works for me. So find your tribe, find people who genuinely care about you and who are present in parenting your child. And even some things you won't pick up, but they will, and then you look into it, and then it'll be a whole discussion, and it'll just make parenting a wonderful experience. So guys, we don't have to do everything on our own. We don't really have to be that. Don't cut corners. This one, I'm going to tell you a short story about cutting corners in parenting. Whether it's actually with like your free time. If your child is still enjoying your time with you, my lighting is going to go offish because I did say it's like after 4, it's going for 4. So obviously the sun is doing the least. All right. So even with like being present, don't be like, I'm here and you're here, because your child is going to be on some, but mom, I'm telling you something, or they're going to ask you, and then they're going to catch you out. But there's a preschool, no, not a preschool. It's a nursery. My son was initially in nursery, and then my team, I call them my team. I don't know how to refer to them, but let me just say my family and friends actually were like, no, he's too small. The school is too expensive. He can stay with us, and he stayed with them, and I went to work. And they were very hands-on. They were very attentive to him. He's an only child, so he's very needy of attention. And then when I took him back to school, I took him to a different school, which was close by. It was more affordable, and it was a bit small in comparison to the initial school that he went to. The biggest mistake of my life. One of the biggest mistake of my life, because thank God for COVID. I mean that for my situation, not for the global situation. But because COVID came, we had to pull our kids out of the school. And then my child was telling me he doesn't like the school. He really doesn't like it. And when he came home, he wasn't singing any nursery rhymes. He wasn't talking about what is happening in school, what's going on. And only later on, he got to tell me that he doesn't like the school, he doesn't like the way they treat him. And I made the decision that, listen, my family and I made the decision, we're pulling you out of that school. And we put him back to the initial school that he went to as a baby. And within like a week, I was really worried. One of the things I was really worried, because I thought he might have developed a dislike for school because the experience was horrible. You know how we are when we experience discomfort in something, we always nature. We always associated, when you think school, and then you think, oh my God, I'm going to go through that again. But actually, he was open to the idea. He was excited. He's still excited. He still loves being in that school. So yeah, and that school is not cheap. So you know what? Support this channel because sis got school fees to pay. My goodness, the bird is not playing nice with me, but support the channel. I mean, sis has got school fees to pay. Next one is to give yourself a break. Now, as a parent, remember I told you I'm a 5-year-old parent. So my friend actually was telling her son that, you know what, my son, I've been your mother for, let's just say 7 years. I've been your mother for 7 years. So my experience is only up to 7 years as your mother. Just as you make mistakes and I forgive them, in my parenting journey, I will make mistakes with parenting you. And I really hope you will forgive me and we will learn from each other's mistakes. Let me just close the window. Sorry about that. We will learn from each other's mistakes and I'll do better and you'll do better. This allows you to give yourself some slack and cut yourself some slack in any area of your life. Your experience is as long as you have been in that role, whether it's marriage, whether it's the first child, the second child. Don't take it for granted that by now I'm supposed to. Because often as mothers, we tell ourselves that I'm supposed to know, this is my child, I'm supposed to. Unfortunately, everything is a learning experience. In some cases, it's very unfortunate. But if you give yourself that kind of a break, you won't be so hard on yourself in a situation and you won't take that energy to your child. Because remember, we transfer our energy into our children. No matter how much we want to deny it, we transfer our energy. So always make sure that you fill your cup up, you sort yourself out, you surround yourself, even with surrounding yourself with good people that are going to fill your cup up and you're going to fill their cup up. And you come to your child and you're overflowing as a parent. Because there's nothing worse than coming with problems that are just external and you come and you act them out. Maybe you don't literally say, you know what, I'm working for you and this is really tiring, but your actions suggest that there's tension and there's conflict and mom is not okay, and then the child has to tiptoe around their parents. Just make sure you spend your time with people who fill you up, but give yourself a break. Mistakes are going to happen, you are going to learn, and allow even people with more experience to tell you if you're making a mistake. And the executive decision is obviously up to you, but be open to learning and be open to criticism, constructive that is. And this is so important, creating a healthy environment. I think this one touches on giving yourself a break. Now, I don't even want to dive into the more serious and scary aspect of finding a healthy environment, like make sure that you don't have pedophiles in your surroundings and whatnot. But this is basically about the home environment and the school environment. Please make sure that you visit the school, the ethics, you know how they take care of the children, how they treat the children. In most cases, I would suggest that you find a school that does offer video surveillance, because in an instance where your child comes back with anything that you don't understand, you can just refer back to the video surveillance. I know the cost of education for our children is you know what, let's not go there. But it's an investment. There is no price tag that you can literally put on your child. So it's about creating that environment. Even at home, create an environment where your child is listened to, where your child is understood, and where your child's feelings are validated. Because often we invalidate children's feelings by saying, "Ukhalela na ayikho lento oyikhalelayo." In certain instances, they're just being a baby. And you need to actually have a way of saying to them, "Listen, I know that you feel like this and I understand, but we really need to do your homework. I know that you feel tired." So you acknowledge, "I know that you feel tired and I know you want to get some rest. Let's do this. As soon as we're done, you will get some rest. And please keep your promises." As parents, we often make promises and we don't deliver, and we think these young people don't remember. That is why right now you've got trust issues in your relationships, because we're being raised by parents who would sometimes not keep their promises, and when you come back to collect, your parents would be like, "Yeah, you know, they're dismissive." So keep your promises to your kids. If you say do this and you do a reward system, I have a reward system with my child where I'm teaching him to do some chores around the house and I reward him. And I just realized I could have gotten away with it. He didn't even know what it was when I gave him his allowance, because he's been doing a couple of chores and he's like, "Mom, what's an allowance?" And I was just like, "Oh, damn it. Should have just kept my money to myself." But I want him to know that in this household, his activities, whatever he does in this household, so like picking up, taking out the trash in each of the rooms, we appreciate it. It is noticed. It doesn't go unnoticed. And this is a reward for it. So make sure that the environment your child is in, the people, the household, the language, it's all friendly to. Okay, so the last point is to listen to your kids and understand them. Parenting a 5-year-old means that sometimes I have to adjust my mind to when I was 5. For example, my son was obsessed with dinosaurs. And I really didn't know those things were that expensive until I had to buy them. So he would often tell me, "Oh, my friend has this dinosaur. I want this dinosaur. I want a dinosaur t-shirt. I want a dinosaur this." And as a 31-year-old, it's easier for me to understand that I don't have to do things for my friends. I really don't have to. And as much as I'm teaching him to be an independent person, I need to go back to being 5 and understand that while we were building social skills as 5-year-olds, it was important for us to be accepted by our friends and to want to look like each other. It's for now me telling him about peer pressure. It's not even a concept that he can understand. And some people will be like, "Oh, please, you need to teach your child to be independent." People are out here at their big age going to LV, paying for an empty bag to take pictures. And you telling me to tell a 5-year-old to understand that you don't have to look like the rest? Please. So I made a point that, you know what, today you're going to wear dinosaur clothes, or clothes with the dinosaurs and stuff, but tomorrow you get to wear something else. And so it became a thing of choice. You have other choices. You're not limited to that one choice of our options just because everybody's doing it. But you can do it. And I understood that if I don't give it to him, one, his performance and his confidence is going to go down. It is definitely going to go down because he's 4. He doesn't understand that this is peer pressure. And also certain things, just like if your child doesn't like, my son doesn't like Pinocchio, and I bought him a book about Pinocchio, I had to stop. I had to put the book away because that's not what he wants. And I operate from the idea that life is too short to be doing things you don't enjoy and to be living a life that's just not exciting to you. And that includes my child. I don't want to spend most of my time arguing with a 5-year-old that you don't have to wear dinosaurs. I will literally convince him that something else is better and he'll move right along. When dinosaurs got too expensive, I moved to Spider-Man. Biggest mistake of my life, but here we are. when he learned, he actually liked Peppa Pig, and I had to tolerate Peppa Pig for a while until I realized that Peppa Pig has given him excellent vocabulary, but he's getting a little bit too arrogant. Let's go to Daniel Tiger for a bit. I didn't just force it on him. I said, try this out. And if you don't like it, we can always go back to Peppa Pig. And he tried it out, and, it was a balance. So he gets to see the best of both. So intentional parenting is about being focused, being present, and actually listening and understanding your child, but not just your child, yourself. And remembering, in any role, whether it's a job, it's a marriage, it's parenting, you are as old as you have been in that situation. So cut yourself some slack. All right, my promise to you before I go is that I will do my best to upload a video once every Monday afternoon, except in a situation where there's load shedding. But sure, Monday afternoon I will upload a video, so it gives me enough time during the week to film the video. And if there's anything that you'd like me to share with you, I put it down in the comments. Comment, like the video, and share. And enjoy the rest of this month of love. Most importantly, love yourself and love your kids. Thank you.